Hey everyone, Miranda here with Essential Flavor Cuisine, and on today's video we are making fried cabbage with bacon and bell pepper. Now this recipe was inspired by one of my neighbors who gave me a bowl full of bell pepper that came straight from her father's garden. So I knew immediately when I got the bell pepper I wanted to use it in a recipe for my next video. So I was wondering, what exactly could I make? So I'm looking in my refrigerator and I find some smoked turkey sausage and I see some cabbage, and I was like, yes, we are making southern fried cabbage with bacon and bell pepper. So let's get started. Okay everyone, for this recipe you're going to need a head of cabbage, you're going to need smoked sausage of your choice. Here I'm using turkey. You're going to need 2 bell pepper, 1 small onion, 4 slices of bacon cut into strips, salt, black pepper, 1 teaspoon each of the following: garlic powder, onion powder, smoked paprika, Italian seasoning, chicken bouillon powder, and a dash of cayenne pepper. Before we start slicing our veggies, let's mix 2 tablespoons of water into our chicken bouillon powder. I like to use bouillon powder because it gives me more flavor than regular chicken broth. So we're just gonna mix that up and set it to the side. All right, now let's start with our cabbage. First, we want to actually core this cabbage, and that basically means we're gonna cut off that bottom piece. We're gonna remove a couple of the outer pieces of the cabbage and we're going to slice it right down the middle. Now we're going to core this. That basically means we're going to remove that hard piece right there because it's bitter. It doesn't have any flavor and it doesn't do anything for our dish. So we're going to go ahead and just take our knife and cut around the outer edges of that core, and we're simply going to remove it. Just like that. And then we're going to do that with the other side of the cabbage. All right, and now we can go ahead and slice our cabbage. I like thin slices of cabbage for this dish, but if you would like your cabbage thick, you can go ahead and do that as well. So let's go ahead and just slice up our cabbage. Next, we have our onion. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna slice that onion up, and I like mine, again, thin. More slicing. It's bell pepper time. So go ahead and take out the membrane of that bell pepper. That does nothing for the dish. We're going to go ahead and slice that up as well. Again, I like thin slices. If you like yours a little thicker, that's fine. All right, and we're gonna slice up our green bell pepper. I like to use 2 different colors because I love seeing color in my dishes. We're in the home stretch. Now let's slice up our sausage. We're going to slice this diagonally because we're fancy. All right, guys, it is that time. Let's start cooking. We're gonna start with our bacon. What I really wanna do is render the fat from this bacon. That is the flavor that we're gonna use to cook all of our veggies and our sausage in. So let's go ahead and cook that about 5 minutes until it's totally done. And then once that's done, we're gonna go ahead and sit that to the side. Okay, now let's add our sausage. Now, the sausage that I'm using is fully cooked. So what I want to do is just get a nice brown char on this sausage, like that. Okay, now that we've gotten our sausage browned, I noticed that the majority of my fat from my bacon is gone. So what I'm gonna do is add a tablespoon of butter and a little bit more oil to the remaining bacon fat. That is just going to give us extra flavor and allow us to continue to fry our cabbage and our other veggies in our pan. So if you run into this problem, simply add more oil, that's all. I'm adding butter because I just love extra flavor. All right, and so now that we've gotten that all melted, I'm gonna add in our bell pepper and our onion. And we're gonna go ahead and just saute this for about 5 minutes. Let's season it with a little salt. Now, the goal here is to get it a little translucent. We don't want to get it really, really soft and mushy, because at this time, we're gonna go ahead and add in our cabbage. So the cabbage head that I use is pretty small. So I was able to fit the entire head into this pan. But if you're using a cabbage head that is a little bit bigger, that's okay. You would just need to fry your cabbage in batches. So you'll put as much as you can in the pan, let that cook down for a few minutes, and then continue to add on more of your cabbage. So once we add our cabbage to our pan, we're just gonna go ahead and toss it so we can get all of it cooked evenly. We're just gonna bring the top cabbage down to the bottom and allow that to fry. And we're gonna do this for about good 10 minutes. All right, guys, so once it cooks down, we're gonna go ahead and cover up the cabbage. I don't have a top that is big enough to fit this pan. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a baking sheet as my top. No problem, no shame in my game. It does the job. So I let the cabbage cook down covered for about 15 minutes. So now let's uncover it and start to season it with our salt, our pepper, our garlic powder, our onion powder, our smoked paprika, our Italian seasoning, and our cayenne pepper. And we also want to add our concentrated chicken bouillon liquid. So once we add all our seasonings, let's just go ahead and toss this and mix it all together. This is starting to look good. So we're gonna continue to toss and fry this cabbage for another 10 minutes or so until it's tender as you like it. So now, once you're done with that, just go ahead and add in our smoked sausage and our bacon, and let's give this another good toss. Doesn't that look delicious? And you know what? We are done. All right, everyone, here is the finished dish. This is our Southern style fried cabbage with smoked turkey sausage, bacon, bell pepper, and onion. So as always, let's go in for a taste. But I'm gonna make just an individual dish for me, and I'm gonna have some of that cornbread that I made. So to go with my cabbage, I made a small pan of cornbread with some butter, and I'm gonna drizzle it with some hot honey. All right, guys, let's go in. First, I'm gonna add just a little bit more hot honey to my cornbread because I love sweet and savory combinations. All right, so let's go in. It's so flavorful. All of the seasonings that we put in there, it is so good. And y'all know what? It wouldn't even be wrong if you get some of that cornbread with your fingers. Now, I grew up eating collard greens that way with your hands. So there is nothing wrong with getting in with the first forks that you knew. Those fingers. That is so good, y'all. Thank you for joining me again. If you make this recipe, tag me and let me know what you think. I am Miranda with Essential Flavor Cuisine, and I will see you next time.